My name is Cecilia-Joy and I'm 19 years old. I've been a patient at the Evelina London since I was a baby. I was diagnosed with congenital heart disease at my mother's 21-week scan, which is when she was referred to the Evelina London, and I've been treated there ever since. I had my first surgery when I was 6 months old, and then again when I was 2 years old. And then when I was 10, I went in for major bypass surgery, and unfortunately my heart couldn't cope with the changes that were made, and I went into end-stage heart failure within a day. I was put onto a ventilator, I had a tracheostomy to help me breathe. I actually had a cardiac arrest within the first couple of days after my surgery. I spent 4 months on the intensive care unit. The nurses and doctors fought tirelessly day and night to save my life, and there were a couple of close calls when I really nearly died, and my parents and my family and my friends were told to say goodbye to me. Luckily, because of the skills of the doctors and the nurses, who are just absolutely amazing, I survived. After 4 months on the intensive care unit, the doctors decided that there was no way I was going to survive unless I had a heart transplant. So in August, I was transferred up to Newcastle, where I eventually had a heart transplant. Due to the fact that I was so ill, most of my organs suffered a little bit of damage, particularly my kidneys. So I was missing 2 days of school every week, where I would drive up to London with my mum or my dad, and I would have to sit on dialysis for about 4 or 5 hours. So it was just a huge disruption to my life, not good for a 13-year-old girl. So eventually it was decided that I would have to have a kidney transplant. Luckily, the Evelina London have a leading renal transplant unit. In 2012, on the opening day of the London Olympics, my mum gave me her kidney.
So I think so many people think they know a lot about a transplant. I think if we asked the general public, they've all seen transplants happening on various TV programs. And it seems to be a quick fix. It seems to be that you have a broken part that needs replacing and you nip into hospital and have an operation. And sadly, it's not like that. It's a lifelong treatment. And so it took a while as part of the team here at Evelina London to realise we don't cure any of the children we look after, and that we actually share their life journey with them. And that was quite tough at the start. I think I describe transplantation as a roller coaster. I think there's lots of highs and lows. There's incredible scary bends. And I think we share that roller coaster with them. But it's a lot of coming to the hospital. I think Evelina London becomes a second home for many of our children.
It just goes to show, again, the quality of the care that the Evelina provide and their determination for the children that pass through the Evelina to lead normal lives. So I was really well for a few years after my kidney transplant. I sort of got back into school, I was doing really well, I was back with my friends. Unfortunately, because I'd been so ill, I suffered really severe nerve damage in my legs and my feet. I had loads of physiotherapy over about 4 years. I was confined to a wheelchair and I couldn't walk. And eventually I had to have surgery on my feet, and I was told I would never walk again, but I'm walking now, defying all expectations. So I had a few years when I was really well, I was doing really well at school, I was really happy, and my family decided to go on holiday for the first time since I'd been ill. So we went to Turkey, and within a few days I started feeling really unwell, and it was found out that I actually had a brain tumour, which was caused by my medication that I'm on so that I don't reject my new organs. And eventually they organised for a Learjet to come and pick me up from Turkey, and I was flown back to London and then taken by ambulance to the Evelina. And I just remember Katie, one of the nurses that I'd known for my whole time being there, was at the door there to greet me, and I just remember the relief that I felt that I was back in the Evelina London. Luckily they managed to get the tumours under control. So I'm doing really well now, and I think really the message is I just can't stress how amazing the Evelina London is. It goes above and beyond being a hospital. It does things that you just wouldn't expect a hospital to do. One, I wouldn't be here without the medical care that they've given me, but two, I wouldn't be here without the emotional support that they've given me and my family. I'm 19 now, I'm at university, I'm living my life, I'm really happy, and obviously I wouldn't be able to do that without the Evelina London. They've been around saving and changing the lives of children and their families for 150 years now. So what better way to thank them than to use the 150th birthday to celebrate and hopefully give back something to the Evelina London for what they've given me and my friends. This year we have decided to do a huge fundraising campaign in aid of the Evelina and their 150th birthday. Our goal is to raise 150,000 throughout the entire year, so £1,000 for every year that the Evelina have been saving children's lives. We've got loads of plans to raise money for the Evelina. We've got big events planned, we've got small events planned, but what we're asking for is for the community to come together and to help us reach our goal and to help us do something for this absolutely incredible hospital. Our campaign is called #ThankYou4 150Evelina. We want everybody to use it, we want to get it out there because we want everyone to be involved.
Sponsorship and donations are absolutely critical to Evelina London. We're looking to do an awful lot more than the basics and just adequate. We have a whole lot of ideas about how we can make the service better, and you can be rest assured if you do donate money to us, we'll put it to very good use to improve treatments and care of children at the Evelina London.
For an example of why fundraising and your donations are so important, we've been able to move some of our blood pressure treatments out to home, where families have been able to learn how to treat and monitor their child without having to come backwards and forwards to the hospital. Actually, that wouldn't have happened without donations, and it's been an incredible achievement and an advance for the families that we look after.
I've worked in many places and visited many places and other hospitals around the world, but I think the Evelina London's got a particular attitude in terms of being open, friendly. We do a lot of cutting-edge treatment and research, but I don't think it's lost that family-friendly feel, and the attitude of the staff is generally really spot on.
If you can think of any way that you can help us reach our goal for the Evelina London, please contact the email just below.